the Athletics and the Twins. Yeah, some of these games aren't going to mean quite as much. I guess the Twins, I don't know they're even tiebreaker necessarily here with the range. I think the Twins, right? Pardon me, the Twins' status right now is just basically uh, clinched the Central Division. So not much to play for in this game. Maybe I'm listing it also as a day game because to give you some, maybe we could have some daytime action here in this one with the Athletics and the Twins. You got a 275 favorite here uh, with Gray going against Medina here in this one, and uh, I would guess that this probably is a pretty good price point to try to get on Oakland here in this game. I mean, that's probably the direction I would actually look. Medina isn't anything special, but Sonny Gray, um, how long could he really go in this game? How interested are they? I'm starting to see starters get pulled after reaching just 70 pitches at this point. Gray's been real good. There's no doubt about it. 1.7 ERA in his last 6 starts. Twins are 10-4 in their last 14 games, but it really feels like right now it's starting time to wrap it up a little bit. So probably grab 2.5 runs, but here on the show, I'm just going to give out the A's plus 1.5. Look, I'm not shy about laying the number with the Twins. We did it yesterday, and they covered that run line, so we got it right. But here, I'm going to take the A's. I'll probably grab 2.5 privately and just lay a little bit of chalk here, but not sure the Twins are going to get a blowout victory necessarily in this one. Gray's got a 4.66 ERA against the A's, so the A's are dismal. They've lost 11-13 here down the stretch, and the Twins have done a nice job. But I'm just going to take the A's here. I figure there'll be some volatility in this one. There'll probably be some offense as well. And don't know if you guys are too interested in this one. Nathan says the Twins have owned the A's. 7-0 here on the season series. So, yep, hopefully the Twins get it rolling here. It's got to be certainly a pitch count on Sonny Gray. We'll note that the Twins have actually lost 10 of his last 16 starts. Yeah. Oh, Nathan, yeah, free play here. Like I said, I went Twins yesterday. I'm just taking the A's today, and I actually like them plus 2.5. But on the show, I'm sticking to 1.5. Nathan's got it as a blowout. Twins continue to roll. And I like that some of these teams are playing well with nothing to play for. I mean, look at the Twins; they have a 3-game winning streak right now. So and look at the Orioles as well. So the Orioles have something to play for, but again, I mean the Jays are winning too. All right, let's move on. I'll take the A's in this one on the run line here. Better make sure because as Nathan said about the season series here. Man, the Twins must just really despise the A's. Well, I guess I could also mention Sonny Gray was on the Oakland A's for like five seasons. That also is something to note anyway. Well, here's a pitching mismatch with the Cardinals and the Brewers here with Corbin Burns. Looks like Ramon forgot to finish the graphic, so I better do some typing for Thomas. In fact, I'll just update it here. I'm showing Burns is up to 215. The total 8/25. Let's see what it was previously, since I have it written down here, but I didn't have it. That feels like it was a 9 before. Oh gosh, hold on a second. Is this total correct? Now, I know we do have a write-in game as well, and I will touch on a write-in game as well, and I will touch. Is it a write-in game, or let's see here? I might have went out of order. That's all. The game with it was a write-in game, right? The Arizona and White Sox game. Oh, that was. I didn't have the. That was one of the ones I didn't have the pitching matchup. Thanks, you guys. Sorry about that. I do see though Jarvis here is going to the pitcher for Arizona, so maybe we can update that and get to that game in just a moment. All right. like I said, didn't have all these games quite ready to go here because the teams didn't. No, let's talk about this one between the Cardinals and the Brewers. Like I said, pitching mismatch here, but I think Burns, you're going to have another pitcher that could be coming out early in this one. Burns, minus 215, took steam here, widely reported steam in this one. And Burns has been just terrific of late. He has a 1.93 ERA in his last 2 starts. And beyond that, he was, had some ups and downs, but I think right now in postseason form, I would call it. The Cardinals have lost 6 of their last 8. Hudson has an ERA near 7 in his last 3 starts. We'll say this for your Nerfy fans so far. So Hudson does have some pretty bad numbers, but he has not allowed a run in the first inning in 11 starts. Burns, actually, for as good as he is a notoriously slow starter. He's given up a first inning run in 9 of 31 starts. But just thought that was interesting to note that Hudson, and I'm pulling for Hudson. I do think he can work through this and return to major league pitching form. Not saying that that's the case right now, but I hope that he can return to form, and I hope he gets into it. I hope he can get into it here with Burns for a few innings. Cardinals have gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. Brewers have gone under in 7 of their last 8 games at home. The steam came in on the over, and now with this number, I don't know, it looks like it's continuing to go higher. So I'm going to take the Brewers here on the run line as my play here in this one. But maybe Hudson might have something for us today and can get into a matchup here with Burns, at least in the early going. I don't give out first 5s here, but it could, hopefully, it's a pitcher's duel early. I'd like to see it. Hey, we got day games. We got some day games today. Neil Boyce, hello. Wait a minute, Thomas. You're going to change from the hat and the blue vest? Yeah, I don't know if you should do that. Darren here, Brewers and under. You know what mine is on YouTube is the Tony's Picks logo. I'm so married to the company. Brewers and under for Darren. And JPZ, the nothing to play for angle with a grain of salt on playoff teams. Teams heading to the playoffs on a losing streak don't do well. Thank you, Peas. Nice to see you in our chat. I've seen you chatting away in some other chats. Something you said, oh man, I wish I remember what it was. I don't know if it was yesterday. Was it on the drive-through? You had another very poignant remark. And I was actually going to comment in the chat and say it, but now I was busy or I was watching something or preparing something and I couldn't do it. People think I just sit in chat rooms all day chatting, which is kind of true. Some of the losing teams are playing very, we just had those comments on the Twins and the Dodgers, right? Of course, I point, and the Braves are doing it a little bit as well. There's a few teams where things were really sticky and sweaty and they've clinched and now they're looking really bad. Oh, you guys, I just want to mention something here. Nothing against Nathan was talking about the Twins athletics game, and it was talking about the line, but it looks like the A's are actually getting hit with some steam here today. Don't want to say maybe there could be some resting situations. We know Minnesota has some players that could use some rest on offense. I do see a steam move. My play was before that, and I'm here just to report the steam, right? I mean, that's kind of what I try to do, and I don't just make it up. It's not something because the line, hey, this team got steam, because I'm telling you right now that the screen is lighting up, Oakland numbers on red. There's a little bit of buyback. It's just a little subtle buyback, but it's across the market right now. A little bit of steam coming in on Oakland. Not a big panic move. I'm not saying I'm right because I took Oakland. I'm saying if you want the Twins, wait a little bit. But just want to mention that right there because it just pops up on my screen. Anytime there's steam, This is the type of work I'm doing for you, right? When you know, follow me or subscribe to my service or whatever, is I watch the market, and but when it comes out, and sometimes I put it even in our Discord as fast as I can. Sometimes it's too late to react, but you deserve to know. It's not just some random occurrence. I'm really reporting to you the information here. All right. Let's see. A few more comments here on this one with Hudson. And it's not for everybody watching the market, but it's the fact is the line is moving. I'm not telling you this market move and that market move, and everyone's talking ticket counts and that. I'm just telling you, right and win, right and win, if I can, especially on the air here. Since we've been on the air, the White Sox took some steam too, but I wasn't, it just wasn't part of the, program necessarily right away. But I add it now. So let's talk about that game. All right, a few more comments here. Thanks. Yep. Yeah, Peasy, thank you so much. Mindy's got her own show. It's been hard for it was pretty devastating, but I get it, and really glad that she's doing that, because really we love having more content here. She's obviously very good at it, and it's a good format with her sister and all. They're pretty solid on their capping. I mean, the numbers kind of prove it, right? She gives out a lot of great information and winners. So that's all we're looking for, and we're looking for more of it. So that was the only thing. No reason for me to get in the way of Mindy's success. I mean, there's a need for more women doing that kind of excellent work in this industry, and to showcase two of them really is really awesome. So I hope it's actually great for her and her sister. I think it's wonderful. Like I said, I mean, how many women really are there that are getting on whether it be on some of the network gambling shows or the YouTube shows? Not a lot. So, okay, I'm not even supposed to comment too much, but I can't help myself. Okay, I really have positive things to say, despite the how it looks aesthetically to everyone. Okay. So let me at least get this game updated here with the Diamondback. Now that I see the line here, I was going to just ignore the game, actually. I thought the Diamondbacks might be a little late to market with their announcement. I think the fact that Jarvis is in there maybe shows that they are. But they're still going to be a big favorite here. The pressure is on. It's, I don't know. Is it disappointing that they have to rely on a pitcher? Is Jarvis just an opener here against Tuki Toussaint, who, Toussaint, like I said, he was not necessarily a free agent pickup. And I think I quoted it wrong. I think I said, he was picked, on the Braves, but I think it was actually the Guardians took him and then to the White Sox. I don't even know at this point, but he's not totally just a free agent mopping it up. There might be a future beyond this season. Well, I'm sure there is, going to try to, but just success-wise for Tuki Toussaint. Nonetheless, the Diamondbacks are going to need this game, no doubt about it. They've won 8 of their last 10. They're still in a hot battle. They're certainly can feel pretty comfortable here right now. 2-game lead over the Cubs in Miami. Remember, they'd have to fall behind both of those teams not to qualify for the postseason. So Toussaint, 1.59 ERA in his last 2 starts. The White Sox have gone under in 11 of their last 15 games, while the Diamondbacks have gone over in 9 of their last 13. I do have to take just a little peek here and see if anything has transpired in the markets here with this game. I'm showing the opener came out at about $1.48 on the consensus, and is now up to $1.67, and one book at $1.75, as high as $1.75 here on Arizona. I mean, you're obviously going to pay a little bit of a tax as well. I mean, we know the White Sox are pretty bad. They've actually won 4 out of their last 9, which doesn't sound good, but for them, I guess that's pretty okay. So I don't know. It feels like runs a little bit here. Boy, uh, move is uh, the moves on Arizona pretty stiff here. Man, could you really lay Arizona some chalk here? While they do need the game, the pressure is not totally on here necessarily in this one. This one is a write-in game because remember this series just eventually got pushed back a day because Arizona had to stay in New York to finish their series up with the Yankees. So they were able to push everything back and take this day off. The score yesterday was 3-0 Arizona in that day game. We did give you a premium winner on the under in that game. So far, there's been just a little bit of steam on the under, but even more so here on the reported steam on the White Sox. Maybe that was down from the 175. Man, you really want the White Sox? Arizona breezed through them yesterday, 3-0. Could I just be chalky here? I'm taking some pretty weird dogs. Could I just be chalky here and lay this $1.65? What are you guys up to in the chat in this one? And we've got Ray going under here. Yeah, watching. I went under yesterday as a premium. I felt I didn't only went 2-1 with the premiums, but that game felt like from the first pitch, it felt like it was going to be an under. And Solo likes the over in this one today. And Thomas says Diamondbacks for sure. Yeah. Sometimes the momentum is just a little bit too much. I'll just lay $1.75 as a free play. That's what I'll do. With the Diamondbacks. Again, I think if I have to consider, Jarvis here in this situation, that is going to be, I would guess, an opener here in this one. So that's okay if that's their approach. Yeah, Jarvis, this will be his first start. He does go an average of 2 innings in his 9 relief appearances. The numbers have been pretty good so far. So he'll just be in there for a few innings, 1 or 2 innings, and probably see where they stand at that point. Looks like we're all in the Diamondbacks here. Just tough to lay $1 even in this situation, right? Yes, the Diamondbacks trying to move in on clinching a playoff berth. They're going to do it, barring a total collapse. So they're considerably better, than the White Sox, obviously. And the White Sox couldn't even produce a run yesterday in that game against BFOT. So that's got to say something too. Okay, got that one, Diamonds and White Sox. All right, I got another game where I didn't quite have the line yet. It was the Pirates and the Phillies. Here with Wheeler. Yeah, he's a $2 favorite here against Luis Ortiz. Now, that doesn't feel too great. Total is 8/20. All right, here we go. Pirates and the Phillies here. Phillies minus 210. And the total 8/20 with Luis Ortiz against Wheeler in this one. Wheeler is 4-0 in his last 6 starts with a 3.89 ERA. Wheeler been pretty good. He's favored quite often. He's not as profitable as we'd like him to be, but still, when you're 13-6 in your last 19 starts, and the Phillies closed the season very strong here with this 7-game winning streak now, 10-2 in their last 12 games. Great job here by the Phillies to solidify their position as the top wild card team. And I guess you got to throw them into the teams that we talked about with even the division. I don't know if we were talking about division winners or just teams that have, clinched. Look what they did yesterday. I was like, we're taking the Pirates. Phillies are drunk. And we don't want to call anybody a drunk. We know baseball players like to have a few beers, especially after winning a division title. Well, maybe they sobered up during the game. Maybe they had some Bloody Marys. I don't know. But Nonetheless, they came back and they came strong against the Pirates in that one and had enough offense as well. I was calling for an under. Totally just I mailed that one in. I was not. I was drunk. Not a great play. Phillies did a nice job, and they're hot right now. Ortiz has a 5 ERA in his last 17 appearances, I guess I should say. He's had 14 starts in there. Pirates, like I said, they continued to play well late in the season here. Now they have lost 3 in a row, but they still have won 16 of their last 27 games. Pirates have gone over in 6 of their last 8, and the Phillies have gone over in 7 of their last 11. Wheeler has pretty good numbers against the Pirates, 4-0 with a 2.13 ERA. That is one team that he has had success against. I mean, we know Wheeler can be a bit inconsistent at times. So Phillies is really spot maybe here to get a run line. They couldn't get the run line yesterday, but remember they were only $1. $1.20 when we were on the air. I may have went up a little bit, but remember the overnight line in that game, and there was no pitching change or anything. They were a $2 favorite in that game, just like they are today. The situation, it feels like the same. Yeah, maybe there were some guys out of the lineup, but that's not necessarily going to change things for today. I've got the over for sure. I mean, I kind of want to go premium in this game. I want to go premium over. But so I don't know. Wheeler could be another starter that doesn't see his full term of pitches. And I think what's the line on the screen? I might actually have it wrong. In fact, let me refresh things here because I think there's actually steam coming in here in the last few minutes on this game on the over. If so, we're just going to have to give it out here on the show. Right now, yeah, there's some 8.5 unders out there. This one's definitely moving higher. There's no doubt the direction of this total. Like I said, I always try to give out the worst line possible, not the best. And then when you get to the window, if you've got a better line than that, then that should give you a little bit more confidence even. I'll go over 8.5, under -115. I kind of like this for a premium, actually. I like the football games. I might not water down my football with this, with some of this, right? But it feels like a game you can go a little bit stronger on. I hope there's a gauge. I mean, we could put unit sizes and everything, but I don't vary too much. But there's a pretty big difference between a September last week of September baseball game between two teams like this and a Thursday night football game. Even though they're graded as one unit plays on our website because that's what it is. It's Tony's picks. It's picks. It's just picks. So I try to put just my strongest games with the strongest plays and the strongest game. If it's a baseball game going to be on my card with some football games, it better be strong. Yeah, there might be a baseball game or two on there tonight, but not very many. And this game would almost make it. This over here, but it's not going to make it. I'm going to give it out right here on the show right now. Maybe because of that total moving over. I was already looking over. I only got the line since we've been on the show, so I really hadn't been able to even process it. But if I would have seen that 8/20 without this steam to 8.5, probably would have stayed in a more potentially a premium. The move actually gives me increased confidence. It is a widely reported steam move, so there is a coordinated market move and a lot of money coming in on the over. You just have to pay a little bit of tax to go over. And you can find 8/20. You can buy it down to 8/20. And of course, it's not a bad idea to do so in a game like this. Thanks, you guys, for listening to me talk about my, philosophy of this one. All right. Oh, do we have Tyrese? Did I miss Tyrese? Okay, I don't know. Oh, Thomas is talking there. I didn't know if there was someone in the chat I wanted to say hi to. Phillies and Pirates over. Oh, Tom, I know what it is, Thomas. It's your autocorrect. I know that. You guys, Thomas is not. I would never, he likes to use the dictation. So anytime you see something that doesn't make sense from Thomas, don't think that Thomas and I have been sipping the morning coffee. Here's an under here. Oh, I think he'll Darren likes it under. Looks like he'll buy it up to 9. Right, Rick? We already talked about that. Newfangled style. Looks like we just keep these bets, and that's the way it should be, right? The game to completion. The only thing that it really protects, though, against for bettors, so this is why maybe the old way is kind of better to a certain extent, is say you took your game, right, and you have an ace pitcher, and we saw it a couple times this season where the ace pitcher gets mad because why did we even start this game? I just had to come out after 2 1/3 innings of rain, and I can't go tomorrow. And now you've just basically lost Max, and you have to start tomorrow with your Rangers bet. And the score is 1-0, and you're minus 230, and here's Mr. Bullpen. So, and then to be, it's like maybe you could issue it back to the player. No, I guess you could never do that, but maybe. And I think even the stipulation now with the new books is it's got to be completed within 24 hours or 72 hours or something like that. A lot of books say it has to be completed at the same venue. For example, we've seen maybe it was the pandemic or where it's happened once where some games started in one venue and they had to play the last. I don't remember, it was a football game or something, but they had to play it we'll have to play it in Detroit, the last 3 quarters or something. What was that game? Anyways, crazy things happened in the pandemic, didn't they? The sports, after we got done with not playing any sports, and then all the empty. I was watching because I go back and watch football games to see what happened. That's how I handicap sometimes. It's kind of like the mixed martial arts, and I was back watching some of the Pittsburgh games against Cleveland, for example, in the pandemic, because those were they looked like similar games of what was coming up, and it was weird with nobody in the stands, right? There was like a row of people with like the family. All right, over up here, so I'm on the over. Yesterday went over. I thought, man, this one's going under. I'm going over. Pirates and Phillies. Red Sox and Orioles here with Sale and Kramer. Is that line right, you guys? All right. All right. Chris Sale, I guess he's an all-star here, huh? Chris Sale is he's not, look. I'll be the first to, as soon as Chris Sale's hot, ready to go, and as soon as he's mad, I'm ready to go. Chris Sale can't be ready for this game. And this is aren't the Orioles are look at the position the Orioles are in. They're riding high. We've already talked about their success. And they haven't clinched the division yet. They're going for it. They've won 4 straight. They've got it in overdrive. They're $1.20. Let's call it $1.25. They should be at least $1.45. They should probably be more than that. I'm going to give out the under in this game because I think where I said maybe one game could make the come on, Kramer. Look, I know he hasn't been good, but he's been our guy. He's been our moneymaker all season long. He's been pretty bad over his last few starts. He's got a 6.23 ERA in his last 4 starts, but the Orioles are still 15-3 in his last 18 games with Kramer. The Orioles have won 8 of 11. The Red Sox have lost 19 of 26. Now, Chris Sale might rip the sleeves off his jersey and go out there and, just deal like Chris Sale. I think he's going to be just pitching to get his, like I said, I've complimented him at this point. Some of these guys are wrapping it up. We hear things, right? Whatever. That's pretty good for Sale. Like I was talking about Josh Hader. He didn't want to go in for a 4-out save because the Padres are, because he said we're eliminated from the pennant race. Well, you know what? You're not eliminated from the Padres are still actually alive by the tiebreaker. If every team lost and the Padres won them all, they could still get in and they'd win by a tiebreaker. So Solis says get on it ASAP. I mean, are we just is nobody awake yet, or what am I? Here's the trap, everybody. So you guys make sure you take Kramer. I'm not gonna give it out here on the air, but Darren, you thinking of buying it down and going over, or you buying it down and wanting to get that plus money? Because I'm going to take the under in this game here and figure the Orioles are going to win this game in a very low scoring game, and the Red Sox might have trouble scoring here. They didn't score yesterday, right? At home. I know they were going up against Glass. No, look, we went with the Rays in that game. I had under in pocket. Yeah. I'm going to give out the under as my play here on the show. Please get my premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right. I don't spend much time on that one. I put it at $1.40. Maybe I should just update the line to my line. Let me make sure that total is right. Actually, hey, look, I better at least update it a little bit. I told you to go under, and I have it at 7 under 15 there on the screen, and I guess the early release was 7 under 15. I mean, this is 7.5 all over the place, and even though I say I always give out the worst line, let me at least give out the worst 7.5 because I got to be a little bit fair to myself. No one out there is going to find a 7 under 15. So if I'm going to give myself the worst line, at least give me the worst 7.5. If I'm going to, sometimes I even say I'm going to get, I'll 7.5. Even if it's under 25, if it's seven, it's going to be over like 25 or 30. So you're still already getting plus money on that. So I'll call it 7 over 20 even and take the even money. But I've got the under here in this one. Orioles win, low scoring game, might be a shutout. Kramer could probably give up something. He hasn't been terrific. And Boston's actually hit Kramer pretty well. It was 2 starts, and they hit him pretty hard. He's 0-1 with a 9.35 ERA. But Sale against Boston has a 14 ERA. So maybe it'll go over, but I'm going to take under. Sale's gotten crushed by the Orioles this year. 14.25 ERA in 3 starts. Doesn't change where I'm heading in this one with the total. I think you're starting, the perception here might be, and there are some high scoring, but look how many shutouts. There were the Red Sox got shut out, the Blue Jays got shut out, the Angels got shut out, the White Sox got shut out. Yeah, some of the games have blown. It might be a generalization. I don't know if I have any concrete on that, but it feels like some of these games are let's get them over with, right? Going to be great. No, Thomas, you just keep doing autocorrect. I think the mistakes are too funny. I think, and we're not making fun of you certainly, but I like to try to figure it out when I see an obvious error. So you just keep doing what's faster. That's what you do. Just keep doing the fastest. That's how you're going to get. That's how we get ahead. Nobody wants a crummy job, but because you always come back and fix something, right? On Twitter, on X, you cannot unless you pay $8. So I'm now paying $8. I've given in. I'm giving the billionaire $8 a month. I'm an idiot. All right, but I just got to have TweetDeck. I can't live without it. Here's the Yankees and the Blue Jays. We've totally a couple series. Some of these last series I have not been great. This one we've zeroed in and hit just right every time. Yankees and under. Is that what's going to happen today with Weaver and Bassett? Now, it's a little bit different pitching matchup, certainly, than the last couple of games. So I don't know if it's going to necessarily be Yankees and under here. And that's the crazy thing about it, right? Because if anything, we talk about the teams that are in coast mode. The Blue Jays should not be at this point. They've lost the last 2 to the Yanks. They have just a half a game lead over Houston. Seattle is 1.5 back. Toronto is in the best position of the 3 teams battling, but uncomfortable to lose the games at home here against the Yankees team that, used the motivation of trying to finish at 500. And now can they do it for one more game and say, let's finish over 500? I said, and we backed him, and I said, you know what? Get Weaver back in New York. That sounds like a good idea. Not some of the things they were going with this year. Look, I'm not saying that Weaver's even any, but you know what? 2 games and 2 good starts so far for the Yankees for Weaver. They won both those games. I imagine he'll go out there and have another pretty decent game here if Toronto all of a sudden is starting to, you know, feel pressure offensively again, like they have a lot of times this season. It's been a great season, for Toronto. But why do they have these struggles at home? And that bothers me. So maybe the Yankees can get the Yankees are worth the price here, but Bassett, he's back to being Bassett again. They're going to need Bassett. If they're going to get in the postseason, they'll need Bassett to have. Hopefully, the pitches will be working. Gosh, I mean, sometimes when they're not, it's bad, but 2.57 ERA in his last 5 starts. This has been good, and at home, he's been good. So maybe the Blue Jays can win this one. It's a terrible price. Who wants to lay this right now with the Blue Jays? The way they're going, and the Yankees actually have shown some life in this series. It's too bad the Yankees are eliminated. Right, of course, they're showing life. I'm on the under here in this one. If it was all baseball today, I'd probably go premium here with an under in this game. Even, you would think of Weaver, Weaver. But in New York, I think he's one of those guys, like put the pinstripes on, whatever. I don't care what time of year it is. He'll come out with a good effort here today, I think, Weaver. And, of course, Bassett. He's feeling the pressure, and he's performed well in these few starts. So I think he'll perform well again today. I'll go under on the show here. What is the total? 8.5 still? 8.5 at even. 8.5 at a pickup. So comments on the game between the Yankees here and the Blue Jays. Thomas is going to be on the Blue Jays. Thomas talking about sending audio, right? Sometimes you send the text to the special someone and it has a mistake. You just leave it there, right? Like, I'm just so it doesn't quite make sense. And probably the wrong way to play it in a relationship. Probably why that all my relationships are just text relationships. Here's Darren says take under in the Blue Jays, and Ray says, how about a Nerfy in this one, Ramon? Well, Weaver, I'm just going to measure him here. Yankees, they score a run in the first inning and about the average, 25% of the time. Bassett has allowed a run in the first inning in 9 of 32 games. And Weaver allowed one run in the first 2 games. I didn't take any notes beyond that, I'm afraid, on that one, Ray. I would say that, if you break down statistics as the card increases over these other sports, I want to come in here and make it look like I've got everything going, but some of it gets a little bit, especially for someone who does a lot of handicapping by hand. Yeah, I have a printout and I use an algorithm and ratings, but also do a lot of old school work. I'm a little bit old school, so I didn't quite. And I don't bet the European Nerfy. It's got to be like overwhelming stats that come out of the computer. Like I said, that 0 for 11 was interesting. Oh my God, Thomas loves the under. I don't want to be dump trucking in a late September baseball game, but I'm going to play the under here. Like I said, it would be probably a premium if this was a baseball card that I'm probably only going to get 3 premiums out of because of the late season nature and a 11-game card. This would have been one of them, but not going to necessarily water it down because of the football. So I'm taking under here. Pretty strong play for a late season baseball game. Let's just call it. Feel pretty good. I also feel pretty good about this one. Let's see what you guys think here between the Marlins and the Mets. Maybe this might have been the 3rd premium. I'm going to give it out on the show here, I think. I don't think I'm going to get too involved after losing both games of the doubleheader also yesterday. You want to be seeing a series good. Everything, right? For me, the premiums, it's kind of like got to be all stars aligned. So hopefully you're seeing that in my record right now. Please check out those handicapper leaderboards. I'm think I'm hottest out of, I look at, there's about a couple of 2 dozen maybe multi-capper sites. Some of them are on the same network. They share the same cappers, not just our network, but I mean a couple other. But like, so my numbers will stack up. They said I can talk about this on the air. In fact, the boss said promote it, and I've looked at those sites, and they're last NFL, last 30 days, I'm right there with the bet, on top or better than all of them. So a little bit of streak right now for Ramon Scott. Let's just talk in the third person, so I don't act too cocky. But pretty good run of premiums right now. And you can see my entire record at the website, all documented here. Okay, Marlins and Mets couldn't get this one right. That's why I had to talk myself up, because yesterday I said, "Oh, let's go, let's go Marlins in the first game and Mets in the second game." Well, the Mets won the first game 11-2, and the Marlins won the second game 4-2. So screw these guys. But I do like the matchup here. I'm probably going to give out a play that I feel good about on the air. Luzardo has a 2.91 ERA in his last 6 starts. Pitching pretty well here. They're going to need Luzardo, obviously, if they get in. That's problem number one here right now with the Marlins. They are tied with the Cubs for that last playoff spot. They're probably not going to get involved with Arizona a little bit. Let's just say it's between the Cubs and Miami. Yeah, the Reds are a game and a half back. Tonight could be, one night could change everything. But there's only 4 days left, you guys. So that's a big factor as well. Tonight could really seal some things. Peterson in here, 6.41 ERA in his last 4 starts, but I've got this one as too important of a game. The total is 7.5 over 20. I'm going to trust Peterson and here to have a decent outing, actually, against the Marlins. I'm going under here as my play in the game. We did see Ron. Remember, so I don't know how he's looking at it, and I don't know if I can scroll back up fast enough. I do want to announce Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day. Maybe Ron's still hanging out, and he can. He's so good to us. I really should scroll all the way back and accentuate it on the screen, but you guys have filled up the chat pretty good. It might take like 2 or 3 minutes, and it'd be dead air, which is probably better than me talking. Marlins money line here for Solo. It is, like I said, it is the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. Ron, pretty much known around these shows for putting that play out there as a pretty strong play each day, one play. So maybe we can leave it. I think he gave it to the one he gave to us 2 days ago. One, I know that. So maybe we can leave it at that for the side. He's nice enough to come. That's why I said, Ron, so he's got his own little niche. That's why when we started the show and with Mindy, I said, hey, everyone come up with their own little lock. You had the Scotch lock. I miss all the gang that, obviously they love Mindy, so they don't come around anymore. But those guys did a great job. And, I always want to say, hey, why don't you guys have your own little play of the day there with a little nickname to it. So appreciate Ron for stopping by, giving me the spreadsheet play of the day. I'll take the under in this one. And, like I said, I think it was going to be a premium. It's 7.5 over 15 now. Looks like there's a little bit of move on the under here, Marlins and Mets. And I will go under. These teams trending a little bit over here down the stretch. But the Cubs and the Braves, can't leave these guys. Oh, God. The Chicago is Scotch here. Are the Chicago crew here? Because, man, this has been, guys. I mean, this has been tough for the Cubs right now with these 2 losses over the last 2 nights to the Braves, and the Braves just totally, making it look totally. I don't know. Were they gifted? They still are the Braves. Record-setting performances. We saw Acuna. His incredible achievement. You do have Marcus Stroman here in this one, and he's got poor numbers, but we'll see how he can perform. You do want to see Stroman be able to come back and contribute to the Cubs should they get in. I mean, right now you figure they're with them having lost 2 games, yeah, the Reds lost yesterday, but with Arizona pulling away, Miami got the win yesterday in that crucial game 2 of the doubleheader. They needed it, and for them to for the Cubs to basically, I don't know, they just choked these last 2 games. Basically, they Braves have won 5 of 6. We know how strong they are at home. They've kind of they've gone over in 18 of their last 22 games. Now, Smith Shawver is going to be starting here. And to me, it looks like the Braves have enough pitching. I know that, there's been some question as to how the Braves pitch, but down the stretch here, they've kind of just been managing the pitching. I think they're fine for the postseason. In fact, they might have enough, the depth might be just the way they end up, being competitive all the way. I wouldn't rely on the starters overwhelmingly when I think you have some some okay pen pieces. So I don't know, Thomas, in this one. Let's see. Thomas says he might see the over here. God, I want to give the Cubs. The price is down to $1.40. Let me at least update that here. It just feels like the Braves. This is not a comfortable situation for the Cubs. Not been getting it done over these. They're the one. The Braves have nothing to. What can you say? The Braves have done all that they can do, and they aren't. And they don't. It seems like they're not done yet. So I'm on Atlanta here at $1.40. The Cubs couldn't do it in the first 2, and you got Stroman here, 14. Over in his last 6 starts. Braves have gone over in 18 of their last 23. Cubs have gone over in 8 of their last 11. It was 6-5 yesterday. So we actually gave out the Cubs on the run line yesterday, and that was a winner. But they lost the game, a game they need to win. They need to win this one too. It's tough. You're playing the Braves right now, and the Braves are, doing it with their eyes closed. They're doing it with their eyes open, eyes closed. All right, Braves lay the run line here and over for Solo. I think we do have the line on this one now. Let me update it here. Make sure we got the line for this last game. Not much, I don't think, going on here, but Dodgers and Rockies. I think we could at least talk about it because, I don't know, you might want to try the Dodgers again here. The Dodgers are minus 205, and the total 11.5 over -1. Okay, let me maybe we can talk about this one a little bit here. I actually have 2 more, actually, don't I? The Dodgers here and Rockies, and 11.5 over 15. I got to look at a little market movement here with you guys on the air because of the late breaking nature of this game. Having just basically come to market since I've been on the air. Some reported steam did come in on the over. I guess I better grab it now. Look, I went under on a lot of Rockies games this year at home. It's been the way to go this season. Rockies unders at home, but I don't know if that one's going to happen necessarily tonight. Dodgers put up 8 runs yesterday. It still went under because the Rockies couldn't score, but bullpen game here with Yarbrough, Dodgers. They've started to go under here of late. They've kind of packed their bats in, and so have the Rockies. But Flexen is 9-2 to the over so far this season. And he has a 7.36 ERA in his last 4 starts. So like I said, for Flexen, it doesn't feel like his pitcher. He doesn't look like, to me, the type of pitcher that works in Colorado very well. So I'm going to give out the over here on the show. A lot of unders this year with the Rockies. Not today for me. I expect the Dodgers to come out and pound. We gave out the Dodgers on the run line yesterday on the show. Actually, we also gave out the over, and yesterday it didn't happen. But the Dodgers did score 8 runs. It's just that the Rockies didn't score. And Rockies, they've lost 9 of 10. They've packed it in. You wonder. Bud Black. We saw the great they honored Tito. I guess we don't have Cleveland on the card here today, right? So we can talk about Francona there a minute too, and that was nice. But Bud Black, I mean, how long can you go? They love Bud Black in San Diego. They'd take him back tomorrow. I'll tell you that. There's an idea. Could that happen? Could they get rid of Bob Melton? And the Padres don't play today either, so maybe I could tie my Padres news in here. So I was talking about all the drama. It's even worse. The drama even got worse in the last 24 hours, apparently, with Melvin not getting. Melvin and Preller don't get along. They both probably could get fired, or maybe they could have to work together, and they don't work well together. Man, could it bring Bud Black back? Could they bring Bud Black back to San Diego? That would work right now. They would jump at that opportunity. If Colorado could fire Bud Black, the Padres would scoop him up so fast. I promise you, Bud Black's not ready to retire. And maybe that's what they could do. Hopefully, somebody's watching. I'm sure it has not been already been thought about by thousands of Padres fans. All right. Rockies here. I'll take the over in this one. Rangers and Mariners. It's big for the Mariners, obviously, in their situation right now. They are 1.5 games back after the loss yesterday, 8-3 to the Astros. The crucial game. Haven't got it right. In that last series. What makes me think I'm going to get it right here? Well, at least it's a new series. And in this one, you have Montgomery. He's actually been quite solid here with the Rangers' 0.43 ERA in his last 3 starts. But the Rangers are on the road here. That's where things get a little bit uncomfortable for the Rangers. They're holding a big enough lead still. They still have that lead right now over Houston. It's still 2.5 games. That is practically, it's time to clinch. It's time, only a miracle, really. I mean, Houston would have to totally turn it around here. So, seems close, but it's not. There's only 4 days left in the season. And Houston's got only 3 games left, right? They're 87 and 72. And Texas, let's see, 160. They do have 4 games left, so that's why you got the half a game difference in the standings there. So must be a twin bill here for Hugh. I didn't look. Must be a twin bill, I guess, for Hugh, or a makeup game somewhere, or maybe the tiebreaker would explain that maybe they don't need. I should have looked into that. So unprepared here. Anyways, with Gilbert, 4.58 ERA, 0-2 in his last 3 starts, but I really like the price here on Seattle. If they're $1.15 and they're at home against this Texas team that, for whatever reason, the road, I know they're over 500 on the road, but doesn't it seem like for the last month or two, it's been a home and a road dichotomy here for Texas? Mariners are 7 games above 500 at home. They are just 6-12 over their last 18 games. And Texas, of course, had that winning streak snapped yesterday with that. They've won 7 of 8. That's what it was. Texas won that game 5-0. Yeah, but of course they did. That was our premium under, and we gave out Texas on the air. So we've got Texas nailed, and we are going with Seattle here in this one to beat Texas. Despite all that momentum, we're going to bring it back on Seattle here. I feel like I might be in the minority here. I feel like you guys might want Texas, but maybe there's nobody on this one. All right, that might be the show.